Good morning. Welcome to my kitchen. My name's Amanda. And this morning before I had to take my daughter to school, the kids and I went out to our backyard to check our garden. It's like our own personal grocery store. And we wanted to see if anything, was ready to be picked. We had a nice rainstorm yesterday. So I was like, let's get out there early this morning and see what we can get. And so we actually picked another nice giant zucchini. Lately, we've been getting one of these a day, and it's so nice. So today, I'm going to be showing you how I make basil hummus without tahini, and we're going to use the zucchini as dippers. And I'm actually going to go out and pick some more basil for this recipe as well to use in it. So it's really nice to just walk out my back door and get what I need. It is perfect. So let's go ahead and get started.
I really love getting the kids involved with gardening. I love seeing how excited they get.
Where is it?
It's a really big one. It's right down here, Anastasia.
Anastasia.
Charles, show her where it is.
Where?
You don't see it?
I don't see it.
It's huge. Wait, right there. Go look down. Look down. Do you see it? Yeah.
My son and I, we saw 2 giant zucchinis the other day, and we picked one, and then we saved the other one so Anastasia could pick one before school. We thought that was really neat for her to do. The recipe that I'm using, it calls for 10 basil leaves, and I will link the recipe in the description box down below. You need 1 can of chickpea garbanzo beans, and you're going to want to drain them and rinse them as well. And then we're just going to go ahead and add it to a food processor. You will need 1 garlic clove, 2 tablespoons of lemon juice, 1 tablespoon of olive oil, 2 tablespoons of water, 1/4 teaspoon of cumin, 1/2 teaspoon of salt, and I accidentally spilt some of mine in, and so then I just kind of removed it from the measuring spoon and then just put the rest in. Now that the ingredients are all in there, it is time to go ahead and blend it up in the food processor. My son and I, we love to go ahead and just play and dance in the kitchen. When I'm making something, he gets excited to try it, so it was a lot of fun just dancing around the kitchen with him. I like to take the spatula and scrape down the sides to make sure that I get everything blended up nicely. You can either have your hummus chunky or smooth, and if you find that it's a little too chunky and you want a smoother consistency, you can go ahead and add some more olive oil to it. And I actually decided I needed more olive oil for it because I like mine a little creamier. Some of the kids sometimes like it chunky, so I just added a little bit more olive oil into it. Blend until you get the consistency you would like to have your hummus to be. Once you have your hummus to the consistency you want it to be, we are going to make the basil sauce. So you want to scoop out 3 tablespoons of the hummus and then scoop out the rest and put it in a bowl. Once you have the hummus in the bowl, I like to spread mine out. That way then when I add the basil sauce on top, it just looks really pretty. Take the 3 tablespoons of hummus that you set aside to save for the basil sauce, add it back to the food processor. Add 2 tablespoons of olive oil, 1 tablespoon of lemon juice, and then you're going to add your 10 leaves of basil. Place the lid on top of the food processor and go ahead and start blending it up. And now here's the tricky part. If you want a stronger basil sauce, you can add more basil leaves. This is kind of where I like to see, do I want to add more or not? I decided I needed more. I tasted it. I had used the 10. I needed more. So I grabbed a whole bunch, washed it up, and I'm going to go ahead and add in an additional 20 more leaves of basil. So that way I have a total of 30 leaves of basil. I like mine to be really strong and full of flavor. I have a lot of basil out in the garden. Might as well use it up. I also love that I have an area of just basil right out my back door. I do have it spread throughout the garden, but right out my back door, I like having it. So that way, when I'm cooking, if I want more, I can just go right out there, and there are some right near my kitchen door. Now I got the taste and flavor right where I wanted it with all 30 leaves of basil, but for some reason my food processor was just not getting it to the nice smooth consistency that I wanted the basil leaves to be. So I decided that I needed to pull out a different type of blender so that way I could try to get the leaves to be really nicely chopped up into the basil sauce. And so this worked a lot better. I blended it until it was nicely smooth. All the flavors that we put in for this basil sauce was well combined it with the basil leaves. Again, the recipe only called for 10 basil leaves, but if you really like a lot of basil, go for it. Add more basil. It is really tasty. It is really good. My kids will absolutely love it. We make this every summer. It's so tasty, and it's a great way to use basil from your garden. Pour the basil on top of the hummus and then just spread it out into a circular motion and make it look nice and pretty. And I like to add some basil leaves to it as well. When cutting the zucchini to use as dippers for the hummus, I like to cut it in an angle. That way it makes it like nice big dip scoop size. It's perfect. I mean, you can cut it how you like it, but this is how I like to cut it, and it works great. Here's how I arranged the basil hummus with the zucchini dippers, and this was perfect because I could easily slide it into my fridge and we can have it later for when my daughter gets home from school as a snack. But of course, I'm definitely going to dig into this now before she gets here so my son and I can have a nice healthy snack. I love making this basil hummus snack when everything is growing in my garden. I got the fresh zucchini from my garden, the basil from my garden. It is so rewarding to go out my back door and pick from my garden and be able to make something with it. It is just so healthy. It's tasty. You will love it. Please try making it and please subscribe. I hope you guys have a great day. Thank you for watching.